Okay, Dad, this is the Kerbal Space Program. It's a really fun game. It's been addicting. I think it came out like 10 years ago or so. I didn't find out about it until like 2 years ago when Becky's brother Zach recommended it to me because I was playing around with like rocket games. And he said this is the most fun, frustrating game you'll ever play, which I get it because most people just quit once they can't get something in the world. But if you stick with it, it can be quite rewarding and really fun and just fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a game. I had preloaded this one earlier just to kind of get it set up a bit. And it's a sandbox, so it's kind of a cheating thing. It's cheating just because I'm giving myself access to all the parts, all the technology, all the funding, and stuff like that. And it's really so that if you just want to mess around in Kerbal without having to do challenging career progression. Because we play the normal career progression game or the science-based game, you have to build smaller rockets with limited amounts of parts, a little bit of funding, and it just makes it harder. But as you travel further around into the Kerbal system and do more things in the game, it unlocks cooler stuff. Now, I actually spared you the 30-minute load time because I've got over 90 mods installed, because the modding community really just went nuts with this, adding like antimatter engines, warp drives, and I have a bunch of visual and graphic enhancement mods that I actually have removed just because I like to build mega ultra space stations and stuff, and the higher part count there are means that the slower it can, it doesn't render as fast and you just crash your frame rate. And doing all the cool fun stuff in a timely manner that you want to do becomes next to impossible because they software capped it to the amount of RAM in the GPU. But we're going to the vehicle assembly building. This is the bread and butter where you make all your rockets. You may have noticed a landing strip back there, which that's for planes. You can build all kinds of planes. But one of the first things it does is have you build a rocket. So this is our little hangar. We got little Kerbals people running around. And the home planet you're on is called Kerbin, not Earth. And the Mun orbits it, the M-U-N. So not the moon, the Mun. It's just like a funny little wacky thing. When I first heard about this game, I thought it was Russian, just because it's like Kerbal, so I was like, Ukrainian. Anyway, no relation. So, we're going to start by building our capsule that'll hold our Kerbals in it. And I picked this one because this is just like a really classic looking command pod. So here's the thing. What I don't like is when you start to build one of these things in here, it always has it facing north to south. But we want to go east to west, because we want to launch in the direction. Oh, my goal here is to get into orbit. We're going to call this Orbiter 1. There we go. And so if you're on a planet that's rotating, you want to put something in orbit. If you go to the direction opposite of the rotation, it'll actually cost you more delta V, which is what this is down here, which is, for layman's terms, it's just the amount of gas you have. It's about how far you can go and the amount of things that you can do in a mission, a launch, space, whatever. Because if you run out of gas, you're stuck in the water, either hurtling out a planet or just stuck in the thing. So, we got our command pod. What's interesting about this command pod is I'll give you some specs. It has minimum crew to operate, 1. So, and it says it'll have to be a pilot, but remote pilot assist is available. And that means if I have like a satellite in orbit or something, I can actually have a low-level pilot, or I think in some cases they can be either a scientist or an engineer, and they can still fly it because it's like, it's like when Dell takes over your laptop to get rid of all like the sexy browser you install. So it'd be kind of like that. They can kind of fly it for you. You can't transmit science, which is fine because we're not processing it. It's got some lifting area. It's got mech jet core. That's kind of like the little cheat that I use to get my trajectories and autopilots to work right. And okay. And it has rash control system. So this is what actually moves me and orients me the way I want to go. It has some thrusters on it. A thrust power of 1 for small craft like this, it's not a problem, but there are certain better ones, they're just not integrated into one piece. The product's mono-repellent, I'm just presuming it's hydrazine since they use an actual space. And I got a reaction wheel to orient me. I can't actually like move left, right, up, down, X, Y, Z, but I can spin it to orient me. Some people do some weird stuff to actually get you to like maneuver and dock with reaction wheels, but it just seems like a lot of hassle. Just slap on some has an electric charge, a small battery of 150 electrical units, I guess. Doesn't have any volts and milliamp hours or anything like that. And it gives me an amount of 30 units of monopropellant, which is fine. So, the next thing we're going to do is I want to be able to maneuver and orient a little bit more that's going to give me, because I'm not just putting this into space, I also want to deorbit it so you can see like how cool that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slap a tank on here, another monopropellant tank, and what's fun is, yeah, I got so many mods in here for all the parts, and this is even a modest amount compared to other people. Modest mods. Yes, they got all these fun little extra tanks. This is like an extra monopropellant tank that adds 50 monopropellant units, whatever the arbitrary standard is. Anyway, but what's fun about this is you can throw tanks pretty much anywhere, but if you slap on the door, if you have Kerbals that want to get out, they won't be able to. So you always want to be able to get Kerbals out. And you got little windows and junk. But the neat thing about this game is not only that its parts count, it has like a aerodynamic physics engine, so like if I were to put a tank like this, it produces more drag on my left side, so my craft is going to arc towards that direction. Now let's say, because we all know how drag works, if I put two like that, it evens it out, but the fact is those tanks are still producing drag. So like Howard Hughes and his titties, you want it to be streamlined as much as possible, because the physics actually account for that, which I think is neat. So I'm going to opt for a monopropellant tank that actually fills in the profile right there pretty good. And we're going to change it to gray because I don't like the yellow. But look at that, 750 units of monopropellant. That's quite a bit. It's a lot more than I had before. And we got all sorts of RCS thrusters and just some modded thrusters, but I like these thrusters because they can hit, if I do it correctly, yeah, they actually hit every axis I want to get for orientation. Now, here's another thing, they have how many G-forces they can tolerate for impact and pressure, and when you go to different planets it's a problem, but the big thing here is the max temperature, internal and skin, is 2300 K, and that's pretty much the highest you can get without cheating. So that means it can withstand a lot of heat, which is important if it's going to go on the outside like that. And it has 0.7, or 0.7 on thruster. So, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's enough. This craft's going to be pretty small. Now, here's the thing. I like to put heat shields on this for when it's re-entering, but a little problem with that is I haven't really seen a fix for this, but yeah, it's just my different size abelators or heat shields that you can throw on here. And the problem is it clips with that tank, and I don't ever like that. So what I do is, even though it's not necessary for what I'm doing on this mission, I always like to throw a fun little battery right there, because when you slap it on there, it clips perfectly. It just looks better. Okay, so now I got that. That is going to be my final stage, third stage, probably fourth, depending on how I do this. Oh, but we're designing, this is going to be my re-entry vehicle, so when I re-enter the atmosphere, it's going to look just like this. Preferably this will be aimed down, and this will be up. Now, I'm not planning to dock with anything, so you can thruster your way to safety. I'm sure Elon Musk would do some crap like that, but I'm doing things a little ghetto here. And so what I'm going to do is go to my utility section here, and we got awesome fun parachutes. This is the Mark 25. I think this is the drogue chute. It's always high up. It's not to stop from smashing that. So we're gonna use this one. This is the big one. This is the big chute that's gonna save my butt. And I happen to know that the minimum pressure I need for turbine is 0.2. So we're going to do that. You can mess with altitude, spread angles, you can really have all sorts of fun with it. But just for the sake of this little tutorial that I'm giving you for funsies, we're going to do that. Now I'm going to slap 2 drogue chutes here, and I have it on symmetry mode over here, so anything I do on this side will be reflected on this side. And you can enable or disable that at whim, and it's just really great stuff. The amount of stuff that you can do in here is just amazing. So, alright, slapping 2 more on there, and I do have a battery, and I'm going to have a pilot, so I won't really need to worry about recharging, so I'm not going to put solar panels. But normally I would put some sort of solar panel. I'm just going to park that right there for now, because I do want to go over here to the solar panels and show you this. This is pretty cool. So this is little solar panels that you can put and open up. Isn't that great? And because I think they're outside temperature, they're actually really sturdy. I think this is the one, yeah, it's the ones I like normally because it's like the long, fun ones traditionally. But yeah, those can do 2,000 degrees Kelvin, or if you put this on here. Hold on. Shut up, Brownie. Alright. Yeah, it's only 1,200 for that. And I'm pretty sure that when just the pressure going up would probably fry it. Not instantaneously, but you definitely wouldn't have a lot of time for that. Just to make sure, because I don't know how hot this landing is going to be, I can change it from radius to or yeah, just symmetry modes. And so now I'm using what's it called, snap angles, so you just slap stuff on there. But if you want to put it like really wherever you want, it'll do that. But I like snap angles, and for this craft, I'm going to just do that, and I'm gonna make 4 of these bad boys. See over there? I can click through. You can put as many as I want, but we're just gonna do 4. And now, gotta think smooth tips. Okay, so there we go. Put that on 2. I can't decide if I want to throw another parachute on there, because I mean, I play things like really fast and loose in this game, especially when it comes to re-entry. So I might, you know what? No, I think the amount of drogue chutes will be fine. So now this is what we're going to re-enter with, and this has all of our felt, so the fuel here is pretty much going to steer everything below, especially if there's more RCS thrusters on there. And I'll show you why all that's important in a second. But for right now, we're going to go back to the coupling. I'm going to throw one of these really neat decouplers on there. It'll help me lose all my dead weight, because I ain't carrying my first stage with me. Use space planes for that. So I got the coupler here. It has like 2 mounting points. I'm right there, and it gives you a little gap. And we'll just put that nice and neat on there like that. But if I can, I can park it right up there. See, on that. Now, I'm gonna move that up, because the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm kind of gonna make this like my re-entry. Like, here's the thing. Usually, the way I play this game, when I get into orbit, I have really low delta V. I've used it all. So we're gonna make that now. Whoop, I don't like that one. So what we're gonna do is slap some suborbital engines, and these engines are like horribly. They're not like, they don't have a really good thrust to rate ratio, and like they definitely won't get you in the ground. But once you're in space, I think their vacuum pressure, I think it bounces out. I don't read the specs. This is a maneuvering engine cluster. It's like a whole bunch of small engines that are just kind of slapped together. And oh yeah, so I meant to tell you. So this one uses liquid fuel and an oxidizing agent. So it uses 2 types of fuel, and it burns them at pretty much the same rate. A little bit more liquid fuel than a little bit more oxidizing liquid fuel. And I can address that here in a second. But yeah, this lets me know my thrust for the engine at site launch and a vacuum. In a vacuum, it's a lot more. And it has pretty decent ISP, it's not horrible. So, oh, and it lets me add some extra fuel on there too. So we're going to slap it on there, and I'm going to select the extra fuel variant, so we can get a little more oomph, a little more go out of the whole operation. Alright, so that's kind of like my final stage that re-enters. This will be my second one because I'm going to use these engines to hopefully do, if not, I'll get clever and cheating. But I've been playing this for quite a while, and I can usually do pretty well. And that I'm just gonna do a classic, put something into orbit, and bring it back down. Bringing it back down is the really fun part, especially if you're not worried about like money. Doop. Put another decoupler right there. Oh, and it's setting up my stages. So as I press spacebar, it'll go up and do these actions. It's like obviously you want to ignition, you're going to use those engines before you have those parachutes. The parachutes, it always throws them up fast, which is really convenient. Okay, now this next fuel tank that I'm going to add is basically going to be the final oomph, like what really gets us into space. Now this is a really large tank. It's what does it weigh? Like, yeah, 4 tons. Okay, so compared to that, the rest of it, like that right there, that weighs half a ton. So it's a really large tank. And as you probably know about space, 90% of your problem is carrying all the fuel with you need to get to where you want to go. So you gotta have engines that are big enough and can just really get you up there. So this one, the mainsail. There is. Brownie, knock it off. Yeah, so here's the thing. This engine uses a lot of liquid fuel. Like, yeah, look at 44 a second on just liquid fuel, and this only has, 2,800. So, and actually what's cool here is this toggle for the selected engine I have will let me know my thrust to weight ratio. Now, 1-to-1 just kind of keeps you stationary. If you don't have anything over, like, thrust to weight ratio of over 1, you're not going anywhere. But 2, you're going there twice as fast. I usually try to shoot for like a minimum of 2 or 1.90 something is good. And it actually tells me I can burn this engine at max throttle for 65 seconds. It's really like not a long time, but that's okay. Let me compare that. Alright, that's 2.7 on the thrust rate. We're going to park that over there because I might ultimately end up selecting it. Let's go to the skipper. So I've got the skipper over here, and that has 1.8. That is horrible. Poodle was one I heard some people talking about that they like to use a lot, but no. Okay, I think Poodle is just for if you're in urban orbit or longer space. Okay, we're going to keep on with the mainsail, that one. Now, looks good. Got a delta 8 of 2,800. So, I'm not sure if that's enough. That's okay, because you know what? I'm in sandbox. I can just slap more engines on. Alright, we're going to do another coupler right here. And we are going to use a single-use solid rocket booster. And this is one it's called a Clydesdale. And that gives us a TWR of 1.50, which is fine, because it's not great, because this is the engine I'm going to use just to get past 10,000 meters, because the atmosphere thins out. Except I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to throw another monopropellant tank because what I want to do is a gravity turn and use the rotation of the planet to help me get into orbit. But I'm going to need some more monopropellant. you know what? Just for funsies, we'll keep that one. And we're gonna throw in some more RCS. Let's throw one there. Get that back on. There. It's not too spread out, but okay. You know what? Let's do it. Alright, now we slap this bad boy right back on. Okay, and this one's gonna send us up, and hopefully this one will send us in the direction we want to go. So, I happen to know that these engines or this setup is gonna go really fast, really hot, really fast. So and I'm not putting like any control surfaces or wings on here. So we're gonna do that. Was that? No, I don't think that's because I don't want to send this rocket off all wobbly. Put two there and two there. And it probably looks like I'm clicking through this like super fast, but I've wasted countless hours in this game. Like I've got it down pretty well to do that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do in this is our action groups, our stages. I'm going to move the big engine. We're going to fire that first. Once it gets going, then we're going to release here. Alright, and that looks good so far. I'm going to call this thing, I call it Orbital 1, and we're going to, you got a pilot, you got an engineer, and a scientist. That's perfect. We're going to send Jebediah, Bill, and Bob Kerman, all in Kerspace. Kerman. Alright, we are ready to go. We're ready to launch. I probably forgot a few things, but for what I'm doing, this should be okay. Let's see if I can do it. Now it's got a load on my parts. Process physics. This time change that color. So we're going to go straight over the water and up into space. You can't just go straight, but you're going to waste a lot of energy. It's just like a simple little thing here. And I'll include some older videos when we crashed in space stations. So, man, that is freakishly tall. That's okay. So we're going space. Alright, let's see if I don't blow this up right off the bat. And we're going to turn that off. I'm not messing with that right now. Alright, I'm going to hit green. I'm going to hit my, this is my nav ball here. We want to pull it this way so we can, anyway, you'll figure it out. Alright, so we're going to crank up full throttle. We're going to turn our SAS on. I'm not going to do RCS until later, but the SAS is the pilot assist thing. Yeah, will help us steer. Oh, he's maxed out. Okay, so I get all the options. Alright, well, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, we're going, and release. Now keep in mind, remember, it only had 1.5, so on the thrust to weight ratio, so it's going to go kind of slow at first. But the more solid fuel that it burns, because I can't turn this thing off. Like it's like firewood. So once it burns through all the solid fuel, as it loses mass, it'll start going faster and faster, which could be a problem if I didn't design it right. But we are now going straight up into the Kerbin atmosphere. And usually around 10,000 meters, I will turn RCS on and start to execute my gravity tank. Which we're at 5,000, yeah, so on and so forth. That's all right there. Oh, this shows me atmosphere. Okay, atmosphere's thinning out, and I still got a lot of solid fuel left, so we're going to see if I blow this up or got my RCS on, and we're going to, don't flip over, please don't flip over. I want to get it down to about right under 50 degrees there. Oh yeah, it's getting hard to turn. Oh hey look, there's the button. I've heard something called torch drive, which is like an ninja drive that's a straight shot, you don't do Hellman transfers, which is interesting. Okay, we're doing good. We're about halfway to orbit right now. Okay, now that booster just crashed, so we're going to let that go. We're going to stable that out, and that's going to crash harmlessly to the planet, not kill it. Alright, and we're going to turn this on and slowly haul ass all the way to space. Look at that. Cranked it up full throttle. You can go slower, but I mean, why go slower when you can get there now? Okay, once I hit 70,000 meters, we're in space, Dad. Check that out. Look, whoa, God, space. Look at this beautiful. We got the mud over there. This is great. We're going straight there. I mean, who needs SpaceX? I'm going to turn that down a bit, because what I'm going to here is coast. That's my apoapsis. That's the highest point in my orbit right now, which it's not actually worth. Everything in space is in circles. That looks like Africa, but it's not. Anyway, so, yep, we want to get in orbit, because right now it just gave us enough boost that we will go straight in this arc and hurtle right back down to the planet. It would be awful. Like, we don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on my stability assist. And I'm going to give us... You know what? No, I'm going to turn on prograde. So it'll always keep me aimed at the apoapsis, like along my arc in the orbit. So I'm going to get here, though, and fast forward it by 2 minutes. Now what's going on in here is, it doesn't look that much different. It's still just right back there. But there I am. Now I am going to set it for prograde. I'm going to haul ass again to straighten out my orbit. Because this is where I start falling so fast sideways that I miss the planet each time. That's a little mechanics. That's how you get in orbit. Because as you know, the ISS isn't really... Think of the ISS like an airplane that it's going too fast sideways and it just keeps missing the Earth like all the time. Alright, so that gets us kind of there, but I'm a big fan of nice, pretty circle orbits, at least for the most part. So we're going to fast forward to there. And, I mean, I could probably get closer. That's 48 seconds. A lot of people like to go, like, they get down to the T-minus 30 seconds. Once you reach that apoapsis, it becomes really hard to get into orbit. So I always try to hit it before they at least keep pushing it out. So, but yeah, see, this is kind of what we're looking at. And did I break my own rule? Yep, 29 seconds. So I still got some prograde. We're going to keep pushing. If you look at the pretty rocket, this is what it looks like. Oh, we've put my lights on. Uh-oh, the camera just shifted, which means I'm in orbit. Look at that. That's pretty great. Look at me all being in space. Gosh, beautiful day. Turn the little lights on, so they got some lights. I can turn this on, so you can see all the Kerbals in there, enjoying space. I like it as it shows the pictures, and if you hit high G's, they'll start freaking out. It's a lot of fun. You know what? Just for funsies, I'm gonna let my scientist get out. Check this out. I'm even just holding on there. You can go up, down, you know, whatever. I'm gonna let him get off. Look at that. Look at this guy all floating in space. Turn his little light on. Wow. And turn his RCS on. So look at this. Look, I'm on space. There's the mud. I'm not gonna go there in this tutorial though. Oh crap. I need to. Yeah. This is really scary. I don't like to do this unless we don't like the way higher altitudes. F. Heck yeah. We're gonna get back in so we can deorbit. You know, I bet I probably have enough delta V to get to. I probably haven't counted. How's my fuel? Woo! Yeah, pretty low. Alright, so we're fun. We're in space. We're gonna, you know, I'll do an orbit or two. Let's see. We're gonna fast forward. So But yeah, I'm on the dark side, and if I had solar panels right now, that wouldn't work. I'd have to be relying on battery power. I'm going to hurdle the backside of the planet. You can land on the backside, you can do everything you could during the day. The only difference is you have solar panels that don't. Oh, and if you're trying to see, that won't work. But landing in complete darkness is not fun. Whew, somebody got hit. Must have been Jeb. Anyway, so I want to. We have another launch pad there. I'm not going to try to hit it directly, but I want to land right there. So, or just somewhere in here, not in the ocean. So what I'm going to do is I could start firing engines now, but it would have us land on the backside probably, because I don't think I have enough delta V to put us there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bisect it, just eyeballing it here. I'm going to go right here. Now we got our apoapsis and our periapsis. Apoapsis. Anyway, we're going to warp here, and I'm going to switch it to retrograde, which will be going counter to my orbit. We're going to make it smaller. Okay, we're done. Alright, now we're going to turn this bad boy around. And it's already doing it for me. That's with all the SAS. It's got like some fly-by-wire stuff. Anyway, got my little lights on. Alright, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to haul ass backwards. Ooh. Crap. That was too far backwards. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to switch to retrograde. The sad thing is I threw an extra stage on here thinking I was going to need it. Okay, there we go. We're going to back up because for the sake of cinematography or whatever. We're going to, alright, I want to have that less than the atmosphere. Alright, that looks good right there. 50, no, 60, there we go. So now I'm going to keep it, I'm going to switch to retrograde, but we're going to get all the way here, because I'm going to try to slow down. Now obviously, if I was hurling an atmosphere at like some insane, like 8,000 meters per second, I'd burn up pretty fast, and especially depending on the angle of attack, it would be bad. But I've deorbited a few things, so let's see if I can't explode it. And there goes my frame rate. Okay, there we go, it's fine. So we're over the ocean. I don't want to land over the ocean. I do want to land on land. The ocean's scary. Like, here's the thing. You go from the depths and the endless void and vacuum of space, like it's kind of scary, right? To landing in the middle of the ocean. The difference is, I know for a fact that there's shit that eats you in the ocean. Here, nobody knows. Here, yeah, it's definitely a no-no. Okay, we just hit sub-atmosphere right here. And what's my... Okay. Yeah, see, now technically if I make it through to the other side, I'll keep orbiting. Or it'll just get smaller and smaller. Because as I'm hitting my drag, it is actually shortening my apoapsis distance. And we want to get it real short, right? So I'm going to fire these bad boys back up. Oh, I'm out. Oh, cool. Okay, so that engine's empty. So I'm going to release it. I'm going to fire my stage there. And go boom! Okay, so that's my my third stage. Now I'm on my second, oh, I guess it's backwards. That's my second stage gone. I got third and fourth stage right here. Now that is probably going to keep going, because there is a glitch where if you don't actually see it hit, it won't hit. But we want to land over land. So I'm going to fire my other thrusters. My suborbital engines. Man, these things are slow. Anyway, they're cranked to the max. So I'm going to see if... how... Uh-oh. I hope I have enough. I might not land over land after all. Oh no, this is fine. Let's be fine. See if my gets small or... Oh yeah, I want to have this thing. I want to see this line. See how it's racing across. I have to cut off like right in the desert. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. You know, it's actually that's good right there. I'm gonna crank that engine down, and I'm gonna let that bad boy go. So now it's just us. Oh crap. Okay, straighten it out. See, this is fun. Because, yeah, keep my door painted that way. My heat shield's already growing red. It doesn't actually tell me how hot it is. Pad temperature sensors on there. Or, I think heat control will tell me. So, mod. Yeah, anyway, it's getting red hot. Actually, no, we're going to turn those thrusters down. I'm going to feel the full force of this reentry. Not trying to slow down at all. And we are over some mountains right now. That checks out. Yeah, we're definitely over some mountains at the crater rim. There's the Mun over there. Just being the Mun. I've been there. Oh, here's another cool thing. So this is Kerbin. That's the Mun. We got Minmus, which is another planet that orbits at high stress. We got all sorts of asteroids. We got whole other planets. We got a Jewel, which is like the origin of Jupiter, and I have some mod planets. These take forever to get to. You got a hopscotch with like fuel points. There we go. This is the fun part. This is, oh god, I love reentries. Here it goes. Whoosh. Look at their faces. They're excited. You know, because they don't, I mean, I'm their boss. And I run like a really loose ship. So this is like a really happy, fun environment. And they're treating it like it's a ride. They're all excited, but they can just as easily be hurtling to their doom. They could explode. Look, any second, they would have the time of their lives. I guess such is space. Gosh, I love that. Getting all that atmosphere. Check it out. We're not even at the good part. Now, if you see me freak out and kick my RCS back all the way up, then you can panic. That means I'm trying to slow down because I'm going too fast. You see like little heat bars going off over here? That's bad. Look at us, we're in dessert. Oh, sorry, probably zoom in. Look at that. Really? Oh no. That ain't good. Sorry, I mean, we both hit the mountains. I just gotta switch over to there so it's accurate. Because this is my distance from sea level, right? So if I got some mountains in the way, my parachute's won't be correct. Look at this. This is nice. Finally slowing down. Look at how the speed I was cutting. Ooh. And around 10,000 meters, I'm going to cut the parachute. So if I don't hit MT first, but no. The big empty. Anyway, right about. Let's hit that beam footage. Maybe only kick in. Oh yeah. Look at that, beautiful. We're still hurtling at 200 and some odd meters per second. think it could kick in again around 5,000, 3,000. And if I need to lose weight real fast and in a hurry, you know, I'm going to do that now. Oh crap, that didn't work. I would like to get rid of my heat shield, please. Oh no, this could be bad. There we go, okay, there goes the heat shield. And should be a little exposed. Any second. Come on. Oh, okay, that's it. You see the shadow match yep, there you go. Boom. And my frame rate just dropped. Oh, this game is just sound like that. That's whack. But anyway, our turbines are arriving safe and sound at a nice 28.9 meters per second. It's still like fast. Oh, thank God. Just opened up again. So that should cut to like a nice 11. I like 6. Okay, and this part takes forever, and I like how it's still trying to make me retrograde. I'm gonna do stabilities. Yeah, because that's not. When you got gravity and all the other forces at work, these monotone thrusters don't. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fast forward all the way down. I got 400, 300 meters left. I mean, I'll play normal speed for the last 100. There we go. Yes, 60 meters, 50, etc. 11, this might be fast. This could hurt. Hey, I blew up the battery. But you know what? My Kerbals lived. Look at them. And this is Kerbal Space. Now we're going to recover that vessel. And, gosh. Alright, we're back at Kerbal Space Centers. Okay, let's see. Alright, yep, they're all good. They all landed safely. Just real fast, we're going to fast forward to sunrise. Oh, and I love it. It says all my old debris are still on there from the launch towers. We're going to go to Space Plane Hangar, and I want to show you one of my passions. One of my big passions here is space. I'm going to import this vehicle and have another build. Eve SSTO, yes. It's for a planet that has crazy high gravity. It's like Venus but worse. But I happen to know for a fact that this works. Okay, now this is a space plane I built. It's got a traditional like space shuttle with the cockpit, crew, and stuff. And you got little ladders that go up and down. Oh, and I threw a docking port on the front, so you know if you want to dock with like the space station, which I have to really large ones, I can show you that. This engine setup is very power hungry. So I've got solar panels all over it, and I don't like it because like the solar panels, they add to my atmospheric drag. But you kind of need them for this setup because this is my battery. I've got tons of capacitors on here, so if I have to do like a nighttime launch, or if I just run out of electric juice faster than the sun can replenish it. But this is my nuclear fuel engine. It runs on nuclear salt water. It's got like its own little reactor built in, and I install like my nuclear fuel fissionables tank, keeps all the nuclear salt water. These are radiative coils to dispel heat. And they work much better in the atmosphere than in space because in space there's nothing for it to radiate into. And these are just some graphene heat radiator panels that I have on this whole like a good 90% of this ship is just the engine and all the shit I need to cool. Okay, so we're gonna close that. And you might see I've got my classic monopropellant thrusters there and all that and stuff. It's the whole tank and mono. But yeah. So what we're going to do is launch this bad boy. Well, you don't like these little space planes or SST opens, single stage to orbit. So that means I'm not jettisoning like old spent rocket fuel stages or anything that's like heavy mass. It's just the idea is you can just take off and get into space on like all in one neat little thing. Now, what I can do here is turn the lights on. It's morning time. Hit my brakes. We're going to turn my SAS on, but not RCS just yet. But now, here we go. Try to take off here. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I have to put on my control surfaces. Oh, I have my stock yesterday. I'm going to like keep them around about 10 degrees for authority, so I don't end up over or understeering. And we're going to get up like this. And we're going to pull in that sexy looking landing gear. Although I never liked how it collapses like towards the front. I figured it'd be easier to let, air help you bring it down. But what we're going to do is, look at this, I'm breaking the sound barrier. That's like all my atmospheric drag. Once it hit Mach 1, it's going to be a lot of fun. But I want to pick up like as much speed as I can. And at some point I end up going too fast that even minor adjustments can blow up the whole ship. I want to hit like, I don't know, like 500 meters per second to start climbing up in altitude. Yeah, screw it, let's do it now. Oh, too high. Sorry if I'm not talking as much. This sitting space planes in requires a bit more concentration. Actually, I'm getting bored. You saw me send the whole rocket in there, so like, I don't know, I'll show you some tricks and I'll pull off some cheats. Like, space planes are so fun. Yeah, I'm gonna crash if I don't do something. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some cheats here, and I'm gonna put us into orbit. So here we are, in orbit. Actually, turn the engine off. It's like, whoa, hang on. All my control surfaces retreat that. But yeah, anyway, so this is it in orbit, and it actually threw me in the lowest possible safe orbit I can. But you're not here for that. You want to see the mun. Okay, now, let's set this at 2. Tell me what it says I can set it at that. 2100. We're going to turn that 21 into a 90. So I'm orbiting the mun. Yeah, you can land on the mun, you can put rovers on it, almost every planet except for the gas giants you can do this. Okay, so I'm going to go retrograde. Okay, let's do that. Actually, we don't want to. We want to land somewhere on the mun. And you will see that I've used the term land very loosely. That's where we're going to go. Hell no, I'm going to turn the RCS off. Now, usually I go red blinky light. Lets me know when I'm doing something bad. Like really crashing. I don't see it this time. So, fast fuel jet. Next to on. Oh man, this is fast. Okay, so when I said I was gonna land on the moon, I'm a, not a happy man. So, let's see what that's we're gonna have to, there's no sea on the moon, so we're gonna do that. Actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. I don't want to kill anybody. Okay, now if I ever saw somebody from NASA land a space shuttle like this, I would be, you don't land space shuttles. They're supposed to land horizontally. You got wheels and stuff. So, what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna need some landing, assistance. Landing info. This is fun, because this lets me know how long I have to do my suicide burn. Which suicide burn is you get as close to the landing as you possibly can, throw on your engines at the last second, and just hope not to die. Yeah, I did a few things to cheat, but that's mostly just because I want to kind of hurry through this pretty quick and show you the fun stuff. And if you want, I've got other videos of me deorbiting massive space stations in the atmosphere, just tearing them apart. It's a lot of fun. Oh crap, suicide burn camera. Okay. You know what? I don't believe in that. I'm gonna start early. Yeah, we're gonna want to get this down to like 6. So. Oh, cool, my suicide burn's going up. So give me a little leeway here, Now, you can see, I just, for the sake of making this super fast and simple, I just eyeballed the land, like spot. I have done very precise landings in very specific craters before, but I gotta tell you that it takes like 7 hours on Saturday to be able to do it, and that's if the dogs and kids aren't around barking. And I have to autosave like a lot, because that's what oh crap. Just a program. It's not good. Basically, I started going, yeah. I ended up going so fast, I started going after my RCS just working all the time. Okay, I'm still like freakishly high. 3 minutes on the suicide burn? Ugh. Is it using fuel through board? It is! I don't believe it. Okay, suicide burn. It's about 30 seconds or so. Fire back up. Here's the thing about landing systems. Really true. You gotta, like, basically you gotta manage your descent speed. I like to land somewhere around 10. 6 is ideal. But at the same time, like, as you get closer, you're gonna have to change your throttle position. And it's a balancing act. It's like spinning plates. I mean, it's doable, obviously, but I don't know, if you got other distractions going on in the background, you can die on these things. Now, what's my suicide thing? Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, for a second I thought I lost engines. I get that down, like... Yeah, my altitude versus meters per second. That's right. Those are the two numbers. I can land anything if I just know these two numbers. Okay, yeah, I'm going a little fast. I mean, I could do my suicide burn, wants me to. I don't. That's playing way too close to the chest. I mean, I like going just to the edges. Oof. I did not like that. It was being really sticky on that throttle. I think like when the Apollo astronauts saw this, they were just like too freaked out with the number crunching to even like take in all the majestic beauty that is to the body. Okay. Let's go ahead and put up my landing gear. Better throw the brakes on too. Ooh. Come on. I know this is like a crawl. But you know, you gotta have super safe landings. Sorry, yeah, I'm not telling you. I just really like to focus and play on my throttle here. I really gotta balance that. Yeah, see. There you go. Nope. No. You were gonna do that stability assist. Anti-normal. Look. Oh, look at that. Boom. Landing shuttles on the mud. As first. Please do not. Thank you. Oh. Look at that. Now, if I ever get this thing to stop, I need to turn RCS off. That's killing it. Now, normally you can stop, drop the ladder, get out, get samples, conduct material research, blah blah blah. But we're not here for that. We're here for the carnage. Alright, I'm gonna fire my engines back up. And like one thing I hate is how like my oh my gosh, I cannot turn my RCS on. What? I don't know how to do something. There we go. Get it. Yes. Woo! Now we're gonna have some real fun. You wanna know how fun that is? It's the kind of fun that involves dramatically crashing into the ground. Oh crap. Whoa. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally gonna crash this time. Boom. Frame rate drop. And that's Kerbal Space Program. Hope you had fun. I did. Best destroyed. No doubt. Oh man, I missed the flight after action. Anyway, it tells you which parts broke first, how fast they were going, how hot they were, who died, in what order, etc. But yeah, Kerbal Space Program. It's a lot of fun. Now, I will tag the trailer for Kerbal 2, what they just released, or I'm getting the pre-release access in February. Yeah, love you, Dad. This is something I enjoy doing in my free time, and I can get some. Turn that on.